Welcome to the Ugly Damn Truth Show. I'm Calvin.
And I'm Corey. Our show is dedicated to help expand a man's mind.
And also give women the insight of a man's mind. Yes, yes, yes.
Greetings.
Peace. What's going on, family?
Peace, peace, peace.
Welcome to the Ugly Damn Truth Show. I am the fabulous one, Mr. Ball.
And I'm Mr. Cooper.
Yes. We have a great show today. What we got going on, Corey, today?
Oh, man, we are trying to help you ladies out who make a lot of money or who are very successful and, whatever you decide you wanted to do when you went to college.
And we got a great guest with us today by the name of, you know what? We're going to let her introduce herself. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Queen.
Thank you. So I am Maya Rivers, and I'm here on the Ugly Damn Truth to get some insight into these fellas' brains and maybe give them some insight into some ladies' thoughts and brains.
That's what we want to hear.
That's what she's talking about, truth heads.
Truth heads. Exactly. So the name of the show is, let's hear it, Corey.
The name of the show today is basically ladies, how can we establish a successful relationship?
Yes, ladies, how can you have a successful relationship while being successful? Mm-hmm. Have a healthy relationship while being successful. That's the thing, because I know me when I was in the dating world, a lot of the women that I met always say that they have a hard time once they get into the upper echelons of money and starting to get into six figures, especially. They have a hard time finding someone that's on the same level as them. It seems like they always feel like they have to date down in order to be happy. In a lot of cases, that is true. What do you think about that?
What do I think about that?
What do you think about that, Maya?
Well, it's a little bit of a tricky subject for me. It's absolutely true. The higher we climb, the smaller the pool gets if you're looking for a particular type of man that you could relate to, especially as a black woman, right? We're gonna want a black man. Mm-hmm. So it does get a little more interesting as you climb, as your standards raise, I would say.
So, have you seen because I know that you graduated, right?
Yes.
You have a bachelor's or a master's? What do you have?
I have a master's.
Okay, master's in
industrial organizational psychology.
Oh, okay. So you,
yes.
So every single man you talk to,
you kind of
no, not just write them off. She tries to.
No, I'm saying she scare them.
I won't say scare them. She tries to analyze them in every single way.
I try to get to know them on a deeper level. Yeah.
Well, I'm saying though, before they even know her.
By the title itself.
Yeah, they're intimidated.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's something I've heard before, that I could be intimidating and that I'm an alpha woman and even have been described as a vixen. I don't pay attention to what people say. It's about your heart and who you are. So
an alpha woman. So you consider yourself an alpha woman?
I don't.
Describe that.
You don't?
No, I don't. Okay. I don't even know what that is, really. I've been hearing so much about alpha males. What is an alpha woman? I really don't know.
Well, you want to start?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Well, in my personal perspective, as far as an alpha woman is a woman that wants to be the boss. She wants to control the narrative of the outgoing. Like, for instance, if I'm trying to tell you I want to take you out on a date, you trying to plan the date. When I'm the man, you take over the situation. And that's basically, in my opinion, what an alpha female is. Like someone that's
wants to lead. She wants to lead.
She wants to lead the situation. Yeah. And with most masculine alpha men, that's not going to be a good mix, because an alpha man can't lead no situation with a woman trying to lead them.
Yeah, so I'm not an alpha woman. Okay. Then if that's the definition of alpha woman, I am not an alpha woman, because I believe in more traditional terms. Okay. So I would want for my significant other, my partner, to be the one that's doing the leading. Now, I do believe in that feminine nurturing, that feminine pushing that you could do in a way where it's like, you know, that old saying where they say the man may be the head, but the woman is the neck.
Yeah.
And who controls the head? The neck, right? But the neck isn't going, do this, do that. The neck, it just moves with you, right?
Yeah.
It's in flow with you. So that's how I operate.
So general connection, general good vibe, good energy put together.
Absolutely. For sure. That's all it boils down to.
Cool. So in your experience, I want to get an example of a time where you saw that your, I guess your status, if you want to call it that, as far as your education is concerned, your stance on life is concerned, affected dating, how you would date.
Well, I would say that I've changed my dating style in 2021.
Well, can we rewind something?
Yes.
Since you changed it in 2021, what was it when you first got out of college? What was the requirements for a man? Because
Don't forget about the first question of this action.
yeah, we're gonna lead up to that question just to because she said she changed her dating the way she go about in 2021.
Well, that's why I said an example of that.
So which one do you want me answering?
Well, what the question is, an example of the past. Obviously, it has to be in the past that you experienced where your status or your education affected your dating life.
Gotcha.
So it had to be in the past.
Yeah,
or now.
it definitely
doesn't
was.
matter.
Yeah, so when I first graduated college, I feel, and I don't want to age myself, but that was a while ago, and I think dating was a lot different then. We've moved into a more casual hookup culture. So when I first graduated from grad school, my boyfriend at the time was also one of my classmates. So he also had a master's degree.
Gotcha.
But we were just both starting out, and we're both trying to get our foot in the door. So since I had a background in human resources, I would be the one to like help him with his resume and help him do jobs applications and coach him on how to go into the interviews and stuff like that. So I think it was a little bit different back then when I first graduated college. Now, dating is a hot mess.
Is it?
It is a hot mess. It really is. 'Cause, I mean, there's just a lot of broken people out there. And
hurt people.
Yeah, to hurt people. So you were asking me how has it affected me now? I would say in 2020, more so the guys that were meeting would just take a look at what they saw in front of them. Of course, you guys are visual people.
Yeah, we're visual.
We always gonna be visual. We like what we see.
We like what we see. That's it.
And then I would get judged by that and not really. I would only be seen as that. So I don't really feel like I was ever known or seen by those men in particular.
So your figure is what kind of affected your dating life more than your education or your status.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because they don't know any of that until you get to talking to somebody.
I can see that.
So
but once they figured out, once they got past that part, and you guys went out on a date and you had a conversation, how did that go about?
Yeah, so then it would get intense. It would get really intense because I'm an intense person.
Intense? How intense do you get on a date?
I like to ask penetrating questions. Like, I don't want to know.
So the first date, you asking these questions, or is the second date? What kind of questions?
You know, usually before you go on a date, you have a phone conversation or a phone call. Okay. So these phone calls would typically turn into hours of phone calls because I like to actually listen.
Okay, you like to listen.
I like to listen, you know. So it would be long conversations, and I would get to know really vulnerable parts of them, and then, you know, I guess that would kind of intimidate them a little bit. But
so you kind of like, they got scared.
Yeah, like, you know, I want to know, why are you the way you are?
The biggest problem, I think it is, you figure the men out because you listen to them.
Yes,
and you break through all the little facades that they have or the false identity that they throw up at you, and that throws them off. Yeah, it scares them because, oh shit, she knows who I am.
Right, and then
she
they don't
figured
believe
me out.
Yeah, they don't believe that I'm actually genuinely interested in them. And
the real them.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the part that they don't think that you're interested in the real person that you really know. Yeah. Instead of the, you know, the false person that they're trying to show you.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And that's why I say hurt people because then they would feel like they're not good enough, and at the end of the day, that would hurt me because I'm now fully invested. I know who you are, and I'm interested in getting to.
He's like, no, that's okay.
Right.
I understand all the stuff
out.
that's going on with you, and that's fine. And they're like, no, you're lying.
Because there's nothing sexier in a man than self-awareness. Yeah. Absolutely.
But a lot of men are scared to be vulnerable because a lot of women, especially in today's society, it's not a good look for a man to open himself up because a lot of women these days are playing more games than men. So
they're masters at it, bro.
You know
Master manipulators.
I don't know if it's a man or woman thing. I think it's
wizardry.
I'm just saying. There's a lot of men out there nowadays. They're on some stuff where it's like, yo, like men are like, hey, like I'm trying to do right by you, and you still are out here and you're acting up. You for the streets, and it's just different nowadays. The culture is different. The mindset is different. Women are like, hey, I'm gonna get you before you get me. So. You know,
ooh, that's a good one because I definitely hear people like talking about that whole matching energy thing, which is toxic. But you know, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of games being played on both sides.
Yes,
I truly believe that women have mastered that game of manipulation more than men.
Oh, yeah.
Why?
Because, well, I'm gonna give you an example. Someone told me this a long time ago. Have you ever walked outside and seen dogs having sex?
No, not really.
Have you?
Yeah.
Okay. How many times have you seen cats having sex?
Never seen a cat
Never.
having sex.
Never. And that's one thing. That means you got to watch your woman because she's sneaky.
Yeah.
Right? Now, second, when dogs take a shit, what do?
They leave it right now.
When cats shit, what do?
They cover it up.
They cover it up.
Oh my goodness! So you're comparing cats to women?
No, it's just the
Female nature.
It's female nature to cover up things. Y'all a lot better than being sneaky than we are.
Can I just say that I have 2 cats and they're 2 males? But that's beside the point.
But I'm serious. Women are a hell of a lot better than covering up their dirtiness than we are.
You know what? You're right. You're right.
Because
in the
they
sense
got the
that
men to participate with.
you know, that's true because there's a lot of guys who are willing to be side niggas, and there's also a lot of women
of course,
who are willing to be side pieces too, though. So it's not, I cannot sit here and say, as a psychologist, I cannot reduce things down to gender. I'm sorry.
I understand that. That's I see how you see it. But I'm saying through my experience of seeing how dumb men can be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They do stupid shit. While women,
in the name of sex,
they plan their strategy out of being dirty more than we do.
But you
they
see,
set it up for weeks before they go cheat on their man.
The reason why they're cheating on their man, though, which I'm not condoning cheating. Okay, cheating is wrong. Communicate and end the relationship.
So
but the reason why they
you're saying you never cheated?
The reason why they would cheat would be because they're probably being emotionally unfulfilled.
Oh, come on. So you saying women only cheat because they're emotionally unfulfilled?
And men cheat because they want physicality.
Wrong.
Yeah.
No.
Men are attracted.
No, that's not true.
So why do men cheat?
Men cheat for a lot of different reasons. If you don't make me feel like I'm a hero, I will cheat on you. If you don't cater to certain needs I have, I will cheat on you.
But that's the same thing for a woman.
Okay, but you're saying we only cheat for sex. We don't.
Okay.
If I come home and you make me feel less than what I am, and I've been outside trying to do everything I possibly can for the family, and you make me feel like shit, I'm not cheating because you're not giving me ass.
That's not what I'm saying. So the thing is this. People are in these toxic relationships to begin with, right? They lack the communication skills. They lack the accountability. They lack the healing, and they're entering into these situations. And now there's 2 people who are both broken, who really don't know how to handle what they're in.
That's true.
So what do? They revert back to their toxic behaviors of doing what it is that you're just talking about.
Absolutely. I agree 100%.
Well, it's all about that communication, learning those skills. And this is the thing with a lot of women who are successful. When they, from what, things that I've paid attention to, from when I was in college, just experience with, different women, they have a laundry list of things that they want to get done before they even settle down with a man. So at this point, they're focused on their careers. They're focused on, getting that next promotion. They're not focused on a man at that time.
That's because that's ingrained in us to focus on those things. As black women, we're told to go and focus on the education, focus on our career.
You don't need a man.
Exactly.
See,
Not that you don't need a man, but just that your
Yeah.
priority should be.
But that's the mindset
career.
that's happening though. The women are starting to adopt
true.
that type of mindset of I make enough money, I don't need a man.
Because we grew up seeing how men had failed us or failed the women in our lives.
Okay.
And that's the advice that we're
why
being
do you
told.
think we failed y'all?
Well,
What caused it?
probably just ignorance.
No.
Ignorance.
Society. Look at what's we are the number one target out here on the planet. We're the number one target, right?
They broke the family up.
Yeah, everyone is trying to destroy the black man. And to have our own sisters turn their back on us because they think we failed them when we have.
It's not a thought, though. It's not. That's the thing. You're saying that the reason why women feel.
But y'all believe that.
No. It's
of
not
women
a.
do.
It's
That
a
has been-
belief because it's actually happened. Because there's women who have come home and have not been able to have been provided for, or who had no fathers in their lives who didn't provide for them.
The question
So
is
this
why?
is actually. But I get
That's
the
the
why.
thing.
I get the why. What I'm trying to say is that it's not a belief. It's because it's actually happened to them.
But how did it happen?
not-
See,
That's the question.
But
he's
we
asking you.
can't sit here and blame
But
the black woman or the black man for
we
the
don't.
why.
We
But
don't.
here's the
It's
thing.
nobody's fault.
Here's the thing.
Besides society.
But you just said from the get-go, a lot of women are taught to
Right. They're
basically
taught
go
by
out
the
and-
women in their lives who have been
Exactly.
experiencing those
Yes.
issues from the
And you know how
men
they
based
experience-
on the reason how society handled them.
That's right.
Exactly, but this is how society handled them. Society took out the black man, the family, the whole family aspect. Black people was getting married at a higher rate
Than anybody.
than anybody.
Than
at
anybody.
one
And
point
stand
in time.
together.
And stand together.
Yeah.
But they took that element out, and then they basically said, "Hey, black women, we need you guys to do this, and that." And that's basically the mindset of a lot of our women nowadays have that generational curse.
Independence.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
it's just
general
been
And I-
toxic independence. right?
Yeah.
I get it. I get
Yeah.
the reason why.
We
You
get
know,
it.
because you think about it, a lot of us are locked up, a lot of us are miseducated. A lot of us don't know exactly who we are, don't know any history about who we are at all. They don't know the value that they hold inside of their bloodline. They don't know any of that stuff. So we leave our women out there to be vulnerable for anyone to do whatever they want to them. So I get why women feel like they have to educate themselves and depend only on themselves.
Right.
But at the same time, you cannot just turn your back on your black man when he's fighting tooth to nail every single day when he step out that house. You know what I mean? Me, and I have a degree, but I still have to fight every single day. And I worked in the corporate world at my own business now, and it's still the same fight, regardless of what the stance is. So to see women who have made it in society and started to make that kind of money look down on men who don't make that money and still fighting.
But
and
he
say,
still
look,
has the potential to make that. money.
yeah, and say, oh, he's not. And I get it, I do.
He's not there yet.
He's not there yet. And I understand because I'm that way now. If a woman doesn't have the particular traits like my wife and I have now, if she didn't have the particular traits that I was looking for, we wouldn't be together. There is no in the future she could have them. She had to have them right then and there. She had to possess them then.
So then,
So I get it.
okay, so you get it. So you understand
I
why
do.
a woman would be picky. But I don't believe though that women are being picky and looking down on men who make less than them, because that's where they're actually going. That's where the issues. A lot of women are dating down.
It depends on what level of success or value this woman has. We're talking about women who making 6 figures and up. That's what I'm talking about. Those women are 9 times out of 10 by themselves.
A lot of them are gonna be by themselves because basically, like you said of earlier, a lot of successful young women, they don't want a man who basically they saying it. Hey, I can do all of this by myself. I don't need nobody else to come in and do anything else for me. I can do this by myself. So I'd rather be by myself than to deal with this other person.
That's
I
true.
can
That's
go
true.
ahead and I can go get me the D anytime I want to get the D, and I can send his ass home, and I can go home or whatever the case may be, and I'm good.
See, that's it. That's if you're looking for, if all you're looking for is the D, that's what you're gonna be in.
It ain't even a. Here's the thing. I'm just saying, like a lot of young women, they're focused on school at first, And then they focus. Here's the thing, and ladies, you got to take this in perspective. The first 4 years of college, you're going what? You're about 18, all the way up to about 21.
Yep.
Then you got another 2 to 4 years of school or whatever, depending on what you're going to school for. So now you got another. So you're about what? 23, 24 at that point. So now, at the time that you're looking for a good man, you done missed out on a great opportunity with a man that was your age at that point in time because you're focused on your career. Because your grandma, your auntie, your mama, all of them told you, girl, get your degree.
Yeah.
And
Girl,
there's nothing
go to
wrong with
school.
that, though. There is absolutely
No,
nothing
there's
wrong
nothing
with
wrong with that. But you got to think, here's why men have this is why men fall so behind when it came to education. Men at an early age was already taught to go back to school, not even go to school, but men was taught to go get money at an early age.
We had to.
We had
to
to
provide for a family.
You guys got a little more leeway because you can stay home with your parents all the way up until you're 30-something, where a man, we like,
18.
nah,
I
I gotta
18.
go.
That's a huge generalization because from the time I was 8 years old, I would have responsibilities. I would have to take care of my grandfather, make sure that he had his breakfast and his newspaper before I went to
But
school.
you're not from here.
This was at 8 years old.
But you're not from here. The culture is different. Tell the people where you're from. Come on now.
I'm from Jersey.
No, she's not.
What
She's
island-
lying.
What island are you from?
No, she's lying. Tell the people where you're from.
My family is from Liberia, which is in West Africa.
Okay, so you are raised in what kind of culture? West African?
Yes, West African.
Exactly.
that's
So it's different. So you are actually, you was brought up the right way.
I don't know about that because I have my
Right.
challenges too. Because my parents came to this country into a new land as immigrants. They didn't know nothing about this world. They didn't know nothing about credit. They didn't know nothing about finances, about all the practical things that you need to really survive and to
Like us.
upcome.
No, seriously. It's the same thing, but go ahead. I'm going to cut you
Yeah,
off.
but at least you. I feel like there's a difference between you had some sort of baseline to go from, like some sort of difference there. Like when you have nobody teaching you nothing like that, it's different.
Well, men don't have nobody teaching them that either half the time. So we're all in the same boat.
I think you were raised the right way. As far as the
you-
responsibilities of a woman, that's not really taught no more. How you was taught?
Especially in American culture.
No, it's not. It's really, but I know that can go against you because men are not. I'm talking about men in the United States. They're not used to coming across women they've been brought up that way. It can make them uncomfortable.
But I know a lot of Black American women who are so nurturing, who take care of their families, who take care of their men.
Are they married
and
already?
Who are very nurturing. Some of them are married, yes, but then some of them are in toxic situations or have been in toxic situations.
So they're toxic too then.
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, I do believe that we're all mirrors, and whatever you attract is what's within you as well.
So they're toxic too then. Okay, I get it.
But
So go ahead, Corey. I'm sorry.
no, I was saying though, a lot of people in general, like far as the culture, the women, far as the way you were raised growing up, like most of the time, like men, as young men, we were taught to go out and get money at an early age. So you guys kind of surpassed us with the education, where most Black men have stopped going to school at 21. We're trying to get money. We're trying to get in the work world. You guys going to school,
Trying to
steady,
get doctors and master's degrees.
So now once
most
you
of the
get
men in
there,
my family didn't go to school, but most of the women in my family went to school.
Yeah.
and once you get to that point, you surpass the man. So at that point, y'all already surpassed us and everything.
But it's not about the degree. It's about that man's ability to make something for himself.
But a lot
have.
of
It's
women
about
don't
his
think like that,
mindset,
though.
and it's about his ability to go and get it.
Yeah. I
But
get
then
it.
at the same time too, there's men who, when you date them and they don't have a degree, they
Yeah,
actually
tell me.
make you feel bad about having a degree.
Oh yeah. I can see that.
So my ex,
Why do you say that?
Because I've experienced that.
I'm saying, what happened for you to have that experience? What kind of experience you had?
Because he's probably struggling, and he was like, the reason you were able to do X, Y, and Z is because you went to school, or probably, things like that.
He told me he was jealous of me.
Wow.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
jealous.
Yeah, I can get things out of people. I just ask, but the simple thing is you just ask people. People get, why are you acting like that? You'd be surprised what people say. And he just told me that he was jealous of my ability to communicate and the education that I received and how he wasn't able to get his. And and made me feel like a piece of shit for it. You know, you shouldn't do that to people just because that's not something that you possess.
Do you believe that he was trying to make you feel like shit, or that he was actually genuine? That's how he really felt.
He genuinely felt that, and then the way he felt manifested into how he treated me. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, of course.
Giving off just that negative energy.
Yeah, just like, you know, distant and just not really communicating with me and always blaming me for things, you know, just always trying to argue.
As a man, I know, regardless of what degree or how successful a woman is, if she makes a man feel like he's a hero, he'll always stay there, regardless of your degree. I know from my perspective, and I'm a man's man. I consider myself a man's man, right? And I don't care if my woman makes more money than me. It'll motivate me to make more money.
That's good.
Okay.
See, not a lot of guys like you.
Yeah, it's gonna push me. I'm gonna push her too. But I being intimidated by what she has. I think a lot of women, once they get to that status, it goes to their head. You know,
I can see that.
A lot of times, and they treat men like shit. You know, I've been in a relationship where at a point in my life I wasn't doing so well, and I was dating a woman who was making, you know, $300,000-$400,000 a year, and with that money, she felt like she had certain control over the relationship based on that, just like men do sometimes.
But you said something very telling.
What's that?
You started off the story by saying there was a time in my life when I wasn't doing well, right? So you were in a space where you were probably emotionally and maybe financially, mentally unstable, right?
Oh yeah.
So you had no business even being in a relationship.
Well, that's right. I wasn't supposed to be. You know what I needed though at that time? Just someone, you know.
You needed companionship.
That's all I needed.
You needed a friend.
That's all I needed.
But you didn't need a relationship.
No.
And that's how.
And she tried to push me into that direction. That's what ultimately broke us up, because I wasn't ready for a relationship.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
so that's a good point, because we jump into situations
All the time
because we want companionship, and we're not necessarily in the healthy place to be in a relationship, and that's how these things turn toxic. Sometimes we just need to sit down and be alone.
But you know, sometimes there are certain people that play a part of your life to give you an extra boost, fill your cup just a little bit.
Right.
You know what I mean? When you're
Absolutely.
almost empty. And I think that's what she was for me at that time of my life, because my cup was damn near
Like
empty.
seeing her success was a motivator to you?
Oh yeah.
Because it doesn't sound like she was actually motivating you through her presence in your life as a nurturer. It just sounds like she was somebody who you looked up to.
Oh yeah.
So that's the difference, because when you start to mix, and that's another thing, when you start to mix sex into these situations, that's what really turns it toxic, because y'all could have been friends, but I'm pretty sure y'all was.
Well, for me, but I'm gonna be honest with you though. You know, men, sex is different for us.
Okay.
You can hear yourself? You good?
Yeah, I got you. I can hear you.
It's different for us, because you said sex, when you start to mix sex into a relationship, it goes bad. That is true for the most part, but for us, for a lot of men, sex kind of give us an extra boost. You know, but believe it or not, like for real. For women, it's a little bit different. It kind of, you know, it adds on to it.
Yeah, we wanted to bring you closer. We wanted to solidify something. We wanted to be like, okay, you're my man, now I got you. That's what sex is for us, right? That's the biggest thing we can give you guys as a woman is our body, because of how much y'all desire it.
Oh yeah.
For real. So that's just facts.
But once we get the cookie, we be kind of on some other stuff.
And ladies,
though.
that's why you hold on to the cookie.
You have to.
Hold on to the cookie.
You want him to marry you, hold on to the cookies.
Don't give the cookie out.
No.
But ladies, at the end of the day too, though, like far as what I've seen, far as women having, you know, successful careers and doctors and lawyers, a lot of women, it seemed like after they get to that certain point in their life, as far as their age, it's like downhill for them, where there's no options anymore.
Dang.
You get what I'm saying? Like, you done focused all on your career. You done went to college. And that's what I was trying to get to earlier. You done went to college. You done went to graduate school. Now you trying to get all these different promotions at your job. Now, Now the time that went by, you're pushing late 30s,
almost 40 years old.
40 years old. Now you like, hold up. I don't have a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a stable relationship. I done had a lot of Pookies and Ray Rays in my life.
Pookies and Ray Ray.
But I don't have a quality man.
And that's why you need to change your perspective. Because if you're looking at it like, damn, I don't have this, I don't have that,
But
you're
at
going to
that
always
point,
be
though-
in that negative space. And you're never going to grow out of that.
No, but what he said is, it's the truth, though.
That's what's
It
happening.
is the
that's
truth.
what's happening.
It is the truth in a sense. Or you can look at it as, right, if you change your perspective and your mindset a little bit, you can look at it as like, damn,
You do change
I
your
had the
mindset.
time of my life. I met some pretty dope people. I got to grow. I got to have fun. I got to get some things out of my system. I got to live life.
Okay,
Now I can
I'm
really...
going to ask you a question.
Go ahead.
What's the most important thing to you on this planet?
Love.
Love.
Absolutely. God is love. So
Okay,
love.
so love. What about children, family?
All of that falls
Legacy.
underneath that. But I don't want, if you're going to bring children into this world, let it be brought, bring them in love. If you're going to have family, have a loving family. I don't think all
But
of us,
when do you get that loving family is basically...
in God's time.
But here's the thing. A lot of women nowadays are hitting the threshold and saying, hey, I desire to have a husband,
she
and I'm
said
45 now, and I haven't been able to get nobody. Because you know what happened? All the husbands, you see, here's the thing, all the husbands been taken already. All the eligible bachelors that was a good catch at the time, they've been taken already when they were
You're right.
in
And so
hot girl
maybe,
summertime.
sis, here's my advice to you, right? If you're 47 and you think all the eligible men have been taken, sis, maybe your husband is still out there. Maybe his wife could die.
Don't
And
tell
you,
me.
But you said something that I want to go back to, too. You said
up?
in God's time,
yes,
you will find your husband.
yeah.
So,
When there's so much more to that. You can laugh, but that's a
I
general.
understand it is, but I want to
General.
hear
yes.
your perspective on that. So, do
Yeah.
you believe if you sit back, God is going to throw a nice husband in your
Heck
lap?
no. Heck no. Because
gotta be
God is
active.
only going to meet you halfway.
Okay.
I cannot sit here and say in God's time, and I'm not sitting here trying to walk with God. Then I cannot trust Him to deliver me a husband. I'm actively healing myself. I'm actively nurturing myself. I'm actively growing closer to God. And that is why I have faith, and I can say, God is going to bring it to me in His time. So until then, I'm moving
What
in
if
my
he bought you a
purpose.
Pookie and Ray Ray?
So my next question to you is, so you're actively healing.
Yes.
Are you waiting till you're healed before you find a husband?
I feel like I'm already in that process of healing, right? You're always
In
going
the
to be
process,
healing.
always. That's
You're
a
always gonna be
continuous thing
healing.
in life because you're gonna always continually go through hurt and pain in life.
You always
So
grow.
when are you ready?
I will be ready when God presents him to me. Do you
Okay,
understand that?
I get it.
Yeah.
You'll get it. So that means you're open for it right now, even though you're
Yeah.
healing.
Even though I'm healing.
Okay. So that goes back to toxic.
Yes.
All right. So you can be toxic and still find love.
You could be toxic and you can find a version of love.
So are you toxic right now?
Nah, I'm not toxic.
So what defines as toxic? Is that
Toxic is a lack of self-awareness. It is a lack of accountability. It is a lack of relationship with a higher God or whoever, whatever you want to believe in. It's selfishness. It's immaturity. It's all of those things combined.
So if you lack in any one of those, you're toxic.
Yeah, basically.
That's pretty difficult.
So let me ask you this then, a quick question. Why is it 70%? 70%.
He's coming out with the statistics, y'all. Hold on.
Well, I got statistics. Hey, I'm about facts. At the end of the day,
I
I want to
love
give
it.
facts.
I love it.
I want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm going to talk about something, I want to have some knowledge about it. So, I like to give
Absolutely.
facts.
Absolutely.
So, why is it 70% of black women are unmarried right now? That's a pretty high number.
Yeah.
That is a very high number. And I mean, if you're going to get into facts with me, I don't think you want to do that because I'm going to ask a lot of questions before I answer your question, right? I want to know, this is the psychologist in me, right? I want to know what is the age range of these women. I want to know how many women they actually polled. I want to know all this information because statistics like that can be very tricky because I am a researcher. I know how
Sure
these
enough.
things are done.
You got to be right.
To
Shirley.
answer, huh?
You got to be right. I see it now. Go ahead, but go ahead.
That's the problem. Go ahead. We're going to get to
But
that.
that's why y'all got married.
Truth heads, we're gonna get to it. We see why.
We see why.
Go ahead.
No. But don't come with statistics and
Why not?
You can come with statistics, but that's a very marginalized statistic. You understand
Why
what I'm
is
saying?
it?
But why is it then?
Because it's
why?
very loaded.
Okay, then let me just say this.
It's a loaded statistic.
Okay, so why our white counterparts, your white counterpart, female women are getting married at a higher rate?
Two times the rate.
Okay, if you want to say that, then I can.
In their early 20s,
I
like
can,
right after
I have
college.
a theory. I think that when it comes to dating, white people have a different idea of how to date and what to date.
And why?
They know a little
Why
bit
is
better
that?
on how to date because I could.
But why did they have a better idea of
Go ahead, let her
dating?
finish saying what I want to hear what she's saying.
Why do they have a better idea of dating? The same reason why they also have the amount of resources and their privilege, right? Is a privilege to them. Dating is a privilege. Knowing how to date is a privilege.
Because most of them
privilege that we haven't
most of them got two
been
parent
exposed
households.
to.
But most of them have two parent households where they were able to see that. But most black people weren't able to see that. To have healthy relationships, to see how families have disagreements or arguments, whatever you want to call it.
Exactly.
It's a little different compared to most black.
And this is why you can't throw a statistic out there like that because who controls the relationship? Who asks the spouse to marry them? A man, right? Yeah. So you could throw out a statistic like that to me, then I can say, well, then it's the men, the white men.
That's not that asking and higher rate.
The white men are more emotionally mature and stable and financially stable. That's why they're asking more versus the black men. There's a lot of gray areas when it comes to statistics like that. Why wouldn't you agree to that? It could
because
be
a lot of those same black men are marrying white women.
Do you have a statistic for that?
I don't have the number in my head.
We can pull it up.
But it's a lot of black men. It's a lot of successful black men that's going out and marrying their other counterparts.
You could right now. You're stating an opinion. I want to see a statistic.
I've read these facts. I just don't have the number in my head. Now, if we were talking about that tonight, I would have definitely.
Don't play the statistics games with a psychologist.
Well, why
don't
not?
do it.
I like to be challenged.
Oh yeah.
Hey. This is the ugly damn truth show. That's what we here to do is get the truth of everything. You hear that, truth heads? We want to give y'all facts. We want to give you truth. Hey, I want to give statistics because at the end of the day, the reason we gonna give you statistics because hey, we don't want to be a statistic anymore. We want to be better than that.
No,
we don't. But all I'm saying is that was a very targeted statistic, and I gave you an option as to why it could be, and I think I made good sense with that.
Well, I'll just say this.
All gender stuff aside, I think I kind of made good sense with that.
It goes to, I can see why that you would have problems with men.
Oh, please do.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna tell you why.
Ooh, tell her why.
You don't like to be wrong. You have to give a man the win sometime.
Absolutely.
You have to, Sarita.
Absolutely. Even but not when he's busting out statistics like that.
No, but that is it could be loaded.
Oh, wait.
It could
Are
be.
you saying that I have to stroke a man's ego? Is that what you're telling me?
We have to stroke yours.
Okay.
If I don't tell you you're looking good, if I don't tell my hey, if my lady say, hey, babe, how I look in this, and I just be like, and I really don't like it, but if I tell you I don't like it, it's gonna be a problem.
This is the ugly damn truth. No. This is the ugly damn truth. Tell me the ugly damn truth. Don't have me on the streets looking crazy.
No, it's not that. Yeah. It's not that. You know, sometimes you have to kind of fluff the truth a little bit. No, you have to. You do. You have to. In order to keep a good, healthy relationship, doesn't always consist of the raw truth. It doesn't. You're right. It doesn't mean it has to be a naked lie.
A lot of people can't handle the truth. You're absolutely correct.
Exactly. So sometimes you got to make someone think they won, even when they didn't.
But there's a way to respectfully disagree with somebody where you don't feel like you're compromising who you are.
You can never compromise who you are.
We just did it.
How would you compromise yourself in that?
Just now when I said that you were right and I agreed with you, your whole body language changed.
I didn't do any of that.
Your whole body language changed. You eased up and you felt like you got the validation you needed from me. But I genuinely agreed with you. I genuinely
that was my point,
right. But you proved my point too because I genuinely agreed with you. I'm not going to compromise myself just to improve the ego.
But
We can come to a commonality. We can
too.
talk through it, and we can talk it out and come to a commonality of where we both feel like we're walking away from the conversation and being emotionally mature adults about it.
But I see why they call you the alpha.
Hey,
female
Amanda.
now.
Oh, yeah.
See, you done just put that on all display right now.
Yeah, she did not stand down at all.
See, you say you wouldn't
she
be.
won't.
Hey, you said earlier that you wouldn't. You don't consider yourself an alpha female.
Yeah.
But
Sharika, my cousin in the house. How you doing, Sharika?
You just actually you displayed that.
But
alpha
what you define
female.
to me as an alpha female was somebody who wouldn't let a man lead when it comes to like planning the dates and doing stuff like that.
Exactly.
I will let a man lead all the way he wants to, but I'm not gonna let him lead himself into looking like a fool. Absolutely
Well, of
not.
course, we're not saying that. We're just saying sometimes in a relationship, you have to fluff the truth a little bit or the lie in order for the man to win.
I
So
agree with you.
his ego can be intact.
I agree
If
with
you
you.
feel like, okay, he's wrong, and then every time let me prove that he's wrong.
I completely
That's
agree
the
with
issue.
you.
And I understand that you're a psychologist and you have those degrees and you make sure he knows that because guess what?
don't make
You
sure he
did
knows
you
that.
did that here tonight in front of us. You said that you're a psychologist how many times a night, you think?
Because we're on a show where I'm representing my brand.
No. But the thing is, right here tonight, you showed your power and your strength as far as your standards.
Because you picked me to be on the show because of those exact things.
Nope. I picked you because you was a woman.
Really?
Yes.
You got 2 women downstairs you could have picked 2.
But we picked you.
Why'd you pick me?
Because we know you'll stand strong right here tonight.
Just like you're doing.
Just like you're doing.
Alpha
Exactly.
female.
I came to
We want a
represent my
strong
brand.
woman like you to stand right up here and give us an example.
Yes.
We're not saying you're wrong by how you know.
I
how
don't
you
think
feel.
you're
That's not
saying
that.
I'm wrong at
No,
all.
at all.
No,
I'm not
I'm
saying
not.
that.
I don't think you're saying.
Definitely not saying that.
There's no. I don't feel any disrespect coming from you guys.
Oh, no.
At
No, 'cause
all.
we
Never
love it.
disrespect.
That's
Yeah.
no, that's
I
not
don't.
the case.
I don't feel that. And but I just don't think I know how to play my cards.
Are you sure about that? Do you feel like?
Absolutely.
I think
Do
you
you
don't.
feel like as a successful black
I'm gonna tell you,
woman,
I think you don't.
as a successful black woman,
Yes.
do you feel like you can balance that? Because you got a little, masculine energy. I felt a
Thank
little
you.
masculine energy over there.
Which is a beautiful thing when
Yeah.
you're trying to build an empire. You need that sometimes.
Sometimes,
No,
but
I
you
don't-
got to be able to balance that and all of that. So I don't,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. So
Oh, I absolutely know I can balance that because I'm a very nurturing, giving, soft woman.
Are you sure?
I'm 100%, 1,000% sure. I got receipts to prove it. I could text people right now and they will agree with that.
Your
I could text several men right now.
Your cousin.
No, men.
Hey, you here? I
men.
can text plenty of them. Let me show you what I'm talking about.
Men. MAN.
Got the receipts to show. Okay. I'm just saying.
I love it.
I'm just saying. But, ladies, at the end of the day, if you want to, and especially if you're a successful black woman and you want to catch a quality man, because this is the thing, ladies, most men are not going to be on your level. Let's just keep it real.
Not these days, not.
Not these days. Most dudes these days are not going to be making 6 figures if you're making 6 figures. They might be making good money, but at the end of the day, you got to look at beyond that 6-figure income.
That's yes.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, his potential might be greater at a later point in his age. You know what I mean? Because you got to remember, men continue to get value as we get older.
That's right.
So,
That's true. My grandfather had his last child at 75.
there you go.
See, we can still, do things.
There you
and
go.
ladies, the older you get, hey, at the
Your
end of
value
the,
goes down.
Oh, but the older we get, the higher our sexuality goes up.
yeah, but at the same time,
But your value goes down.
That's
because
because you can't.
But then again, right, that's what I'm saying. You can't always say that because there could be a situation in which this high value man,
Here we go.
his wife could die.
Yeah. Y'all hear?
His wife
Truth
could
heads.
die.
Truth heads. You see it, right?
Yeah.
We're showing you.
We
I
are
just
showing
can't
you.
do the generalization.
We under.
I can't have y'all out here generalizing stuff.
It's not. We're not general.
This
This
is
is
what
based on
society-
experience. This is based on experience.
This is
too.
our experience.
It is.
Yeah.
It's based on experience.
So can I ask you guys a question?
Sure. Yeah. Go ahead.
What is a high value man?
You can start off when you want me. It
It'll
don't.
sort of.
I believe it's the same thing as a woman is, as far as how she see a high value man who has morals, who stands for something, who know how to lead a family, who's well grounded spiritually, who's loving, who's caring. just the major.
Take care of his family.
I
He
mean,
take
all
care
of the main
responsibilities.
characteristics that a man's supposed to have. Good values, you know what I mean? Good head.
Not that
He
kind
has,
of head.
he has,
Oh,
to,
not
he
that
has,
kind of
even
head.
that too.
All right.
Even that good. He has to have that too. He has to be good in the bed too now.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? His value is what he can provide. If he can't provide nothing in sex, he
So his-
loses value there.
so
you know
his
what I mean?
mouth game gotta be
His
on
mouth
point,
game,
too.
his pipe game got to be good. All
Mouth
those
game
things.
got to be good, and the pipe game got to be good.
So-
oh, okay.
What about the money? It's not about his money because that's what I keep hearing is
he said that though, because as a high value man, you still got to be able to provide for
That's
your family.
providing.
And I'm
You don't
not
have to
saying
be
like
rich.
what I'm
be a
saying.
provider.
We're
Right.
saying God, like a high value man to me is somebody that make good money. Because in
That's not
today's,
for me.
like 6 figures.
I'm
good
not
money?
saying. Well, it's basically everything he said, but at the same time, I feel like they have to be able to take care of their family.
Their family.
You know what I mean? And I'm not saying they got to make 6 figures. They can make 80 grand a year and still be a high value man.
That's
because
right.
There's not too many men out there that
That's
make
right.
80 grand a year.
That's right.
You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
for me,
The average
you know,
salary is like $43,000
Yeah.
a year.
See what I mean?
and
Like-
see,
Yeah.
you know,
And there's high value men in that category as well.
But-
It's not based on
Yes,
how much
I
money
agree.
they make. It's
Thank
not.
you. I'm so
I would
glad
say
you said that.
I would
It's
say
not.
there's
I'm so glad you said
quality.
that.
I would say
It's
there's
not.
quality.
There's
man.
some. I'm gonna say some bitch ass niggas out there that make $100,000 a year and they don't take care of their family. So I can't say money is the point of where you can say a high value man stands. Hell no. Because I know men that work at McDonald's and they're high value men. They take care of their family.
Yep.
They support their family around them when they're in need. They're there for them, mentally, spiritually, and they only make $10, $12 an hour.
Yeah.
And I mean, there are stand up men that will get out their car.
Yes.
You understand what I'm
No,
saying?
that's
Like those
true.
kind of dudes.
But a high
that I've-
value man for me too is basically what he's saying. But also someone that's gonna put in the work, even if you're making 10 or 11
That's
dollars
right.
an hour, you still got to put in the work to get to it. You got to have mind. It's all about that mindset of wanting to take yourself to the next level.
Yep.
Because I can't never see myself making. I don't give a damn. I'm always striving to be better. So to me, you got to have a mindset to be a high value man too. A mindset to desire to have a goal or something to do better than where you was at before.
Yeah,
And you got to always be, as a high value man, you got to pick up a book, learn. It's all about that knowledge and that wisdom and all of that too. That's, as far as me.
Yeah, you hear a lot of people. You hear a lot of people say, high value man has make 6 figures. I don't agree with that at all.
Yeah, that's
I
what
just
I've been
don't.
hearing is mainly like how much money they make, and
not
that's
high
very.
He makes a lot of
dangerous.
money. That don't mean his value is high.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Could he pass that on to his children? Have he set up a structure for his children to take that money and multiply 10 times? That's a high value man.
But a lot of women
Not because
today-
he makes it. What
Right.
about his children? Are they set up?
But a lot of women are making that argument. That's what they want. They want a dude that's in that status right there to
Yeah,
make
they
6
don't-
figures.
I would
But
say that
that's
those
what they
women
want.
don't. Then those
They don't
women
know
don't know. They don't know.
They don't know
who
what
they
value
are.
is.
They don't know who they are. They don't have a value.
But
in
they don't
themselves.
even bring in. They don't
They-
even make that kind of money. But they want a man that make that kind of money to take care. They want those
Those
resources.
truth
That's
is,
very misguided.
truth is, those are the type of women that have a price tag hanging off them. If a woman is worried about how much money you make, she has a price. What does that tell you? You know what I mean?
So she's low value then.
Absolutely.
So
If she's
let me
worried
ask
about
you as a
if-
woman then.
If a woman is saying I cannot date a man unless he makes 6 figures, that means you have a price tag on you. What kind of value do you have if I can buy you based on how much
Right.
money I have?
But let me ask you
Right.
this then. Let's do this because me personally, with my daughters, I wouldn't want my daughter to date nobody that's not able to take care of her. And I'm just being a father.
But what does that mean? 'Cause
Meaning that-
if your woman, if your daughter, has a extreme taste of fashion, then that value man he has to make a shitload of money. But if she is a simplistic type of woman and she just likes simple things, then that man can work at the Subway.
Nah, not for my daughter.
So
you see what I'm saying? So you base
No.
high value on money.
I'm not basing high value on money, but I still want to. If my daughter is gonna be with somebody, I want to know when she leaves my doorstep, that she's taken care of. That I don't have to come and support anything after. When you leave my house, I don't have to support you, your husband.
I got a question.
No, none of that stuff afterwards.
Can I go first?
Yeah, go.
I think so. I completely agree with you. I mean, I grew up a daddy's girl, and I was very close. I am still very close to my father, and I know he would want what's best for me, right? And if I was waiting for a man to do that for me, I would be SOL. So that's why as a woman, that's the very reason why we go and pursue education. I'm sure you would want your daughter, instead of telling her, you know what, no, wait for a man to come
I don't want her
and
to
do this
that.
for you.
No.
You're going to go tell her to go get an education, go get her back.
Of course I want my daughter to get education. But I still want her to, you know what I'm saying, like, I don't want her to be 40 years old trying to
You can't control that, though.
I can't control that.
None of us who are single want to be.
But at the end of the day, it's all the way I go about teaching her and teaching my girls how to, you know, embrace who they are, embrace their education, embrace everything. You know, all I can do is teach them. Now, when they leave my house, that's on them, but I gave them the tools to go out in the world to do things for themselves. But at the same time, I still want my woman, not my woman, my daughter. I still want I want my woman to be successful too. Yeah. But at the end of the day, I would love for my daughters to find a guy that, I'm not saying they got to make six figures, but somebody that's going to be able to make sure when they leave when they leave my house, they're taken care of just like I would take care of them. That's all I'm saying. That's me.
And that pursuit of finding that guy is very exhausting.
Oh, I know. But here's the thing. A lot of women have found that guy and they turned him away for a fuckboy. So, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of women have found that guy and they still walked away from that circumstance or that situation. So what happens then?
Well, what happens then is that I would suggest that if that is the case, if that woman has truly had a man in front of her who's willing to provide, who exemplifies what you have all described as a high value man, and she consciously makes the choice to pursue a man that is the opposite of that, who can't provide for her, who she can't rely on, then I would say that that woman is sick.
Something's
and that
wrong
she
with her,
needs
right?
help.
But it's a lot of women out there nowadays, and I'm just saying, it's a lot of women, you know, when you listen to women talk, they get to a certain point in their life, and like we were talking about, these successful women, a lot of these successful women, they pick poorly. You know what I mean?
That discernment is not there.
Yeah, they don't know how to pick the right men, and they don't have the right men in their life, and they still walked away from that situation pursuing their careers. And then, you know what? Now, since they pursued their careers, the guy that they were dating prior to pursuing, when they were, you know, building their career, they were dating, that was the guy for them. And they done missed out on that opportunity because now they pushed him to the side and say, you know what, this is my boyfriend now, this career. This relationship here at work is my boyfriend. So I'm going to dedicate my time, my energy to move up that corporate ladder. And you know what? I don't have time for you now. So that man done went ahead and got married, done had a whole family, done had kids. And you know what? Now, like I said earlier, they're 40 years old, late 30s, and now they're like looking back on their life, and they done missed the boat. So
Can I say something?
Go ahead, say it.
So I'm going to give you an example. Okay. I'm going to give you my perspective, what happened with me. Okay. So because what you're saying, I can't relate to. And I'm just being honest and being real. So for me, the reason why I am single right now, and it's a single by choice, is because...
That's a good thing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's because I am waiting for and to meet a man whom can be my match emotionally, financially, mentally, spiritually. Now, I mean financially, I don't mean he needs to bring the same thing to the table I am, but he needs to be able to know how to manage money and budget money in a way that I deem as practical, right?
So how long are you willing to wait?
I'm willing to wait for as long as I need to because I'm at a space where I am content with where I'm at in life. The women who are not willing to wait are the ones who are waking up at 40 and who don't understand why they're in the situation they're in. Now they're jumping back into another toxic situation. There comes a point where you can't just say and wake up and go, oh my God, I'm almost 40. This is my life. You can't just go, I need to find something and jump on the first thing that happens. You need to ask yourself, why am I in this situation that I'm in? How did I get to be in the place I'm at right now? And make some serious changes in your life. You cannot sit there and feel like because you're feeling pressured, that's the reason why you jump into a relationship. That's the very reason why there's toxic situations now. Because people are wanting to jump so soon into these relationships without really understanding why they need to be in one.
So let me ask you this then too. Now, if you said you're willing to wait.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you're willing to wait, are you willing to wait up until you're 50 years old for that man?
Yes, I am.
Wow.
Yeah, I am.
So do you have kids?
No, I don't. Thank
So
goodness.
you don't have any kids, and you're saying you're willing to wait until you're 50.
Absolutely.
So
And
that
here's
means
the
you
thing.
can go childless.
I'm willing to do that because in my pursuit of trying to find a mate so that I wouldn't be childless and I would be married, I ended up choosing people who were not right for me because I wasn't even having a good vision of my own self. So do you understand what I'm saying?
I understand you're looking for perfection.
No,
in a man.
I'm not looking for perfection in the man.
Well, you said he has to be on the same mindset with you spiritually, right?
Absolutely. Why would you want somebody who's not?
Hear me
on the
out.
same
Hear me
mindset
out.
spiritually?
Listen, I'm not saying it's wrong, but I'm just saying.
Okay.
So you basically fit the mold, not you per se, but it's a lot of women that fit that same criteria that a man has to be X, Y, and Z. And if they don't have it, they're willing to sit on the sideline until they find that one. And that's far in between. It's basically what I'm getting at. You're willing to wait until if you find a man at you're 60, you're saying you're okay with that. And you're okay with not having kids.
Because guess what? Maybe I'm not meant to have children.
There's a lot of women that think like that. That's my point.
And there's a lot of women who don't think like that, and that's why there's a lot of children
But that's
who don't
why
have,
a lot of successful
who grew up
women. That's why a lot of successful
non-two-parent
women.
households.
But it's a lot of successful women that think just like that, and that's why they're single now.
I'd rather them think like that than get into toxic situations, born children out of wedlock or in wedlock in a toxic home. Because no child deserves to be brought into
And
a
we get
situation where they're growing up unhealthy. Nobody deserves that.
Well, I understand that, but I'm just saying, like for the women that you basically said you don't have you don't have any kids, but you're willing to. What if he is 8 out of the 10 things you want? You still, and he don't have all 10, but he's 8 out of the 10.
So that's a very good point. I'm glad you mentioned that because there will be deal breakers. As long as he is spiritually grounded and sound and has a relationship with God and he's able to control his money, because
money is
you
a big
need
deal.
to be a provider for sure. If he can budget his finances, and I can work with that. But the main thing is he got to have that relationship with God.
Well, I done had a friend of mine or a family member of mine that they won't date nobody unless he's making 6 figures. And the reason for it was because...
That's ridiculous.
Well, the reason for it, they dated people that made less than that, and they put them in bad situations. So they said
That's not what
forward,
causes. That's the thing where people are blinded. That is not what
Peace.
caused the
What's
situation
going on, Haitian
to
Moore?
That's not what caused the situation to go bad. The fact that he wasn't making that amount of money. What caused the situation to go bad was far before any of that happened. Maybe it was her discernment and her choice in choosing that man.
But a lot of
Maybe
women-
it was because she refused to wait for God to bring the man into her life, and so she felt like she needed to go and find one and seek one. The worst thing a woman can do is seek a man.
Yeah,
the
but a
worst
lot of
thing.
women these days are seeking men.
Or
Yeah,
that's the worst thing a woman can do, in my opinion.
but that's why a lot of them single.
I don't know.
Then why am I single? I'm not seeking a man.
You chose. You said you chose to, and you said you'll wait till you're 65 if you have to. They have kids or whatever.
Baby children's not in my life. Maybe it's not. I'm not
You
gonna
accepted
force
that already, then.
Yeah, I would rather not have a child than raise a child in a non-two-parent household. And I'm sorry if that's
Well, I believe it.
controversial.
I believe it.
I'm sorry if that's.
We all on the same level on
believe-
that. We
I
all
believe
we all agree.
every
we all
child
agree on that.
deserves a man in his life and a woman in his life. Every child deserves a chance to be healthy. How many of us have been fucked up because we had childhoods that were fucked up?
Well,
I
I'm
agree
gonna
with you on that.
I'm gonna say this. I truly believe that a woman should seek a man, seek
Ooh.
a husband.
No.
That should be one of the number one things of their life.
Can you define seeking?
Well, be open to. That should be like the number one thing on your mind.
That's different from seeking, though.
Well, seeking is saying, hey, I have certain criteria that I'm looking for, and I'm making myself available for that man to show himself.
I pray every day.
So that's seeking. Sitting back, waiting till that husband to knock on the door, that's not seeking. But putting yourself in spaces where a man can see you, to me, is seeking. I'm not saying you approach every man that you think is attractive. I'm just saying,
Actively
put yourself in spaces where single men may be.
I agree with you, but when I say seeking, I'm thinking more so from the physical, not the physical part of it, but the action-oriented part of it. The joining the online websites.
It's okay sometimes.
You think that?
No.
I don't agree with that either.
Don't do it. Right. Why don't you agree with it?
I think, me personally, I think a lot of people in general catfish each other. I think they put up you don't really get a chance to really actually get to know the person, the individual, from a real perspective, because you can hide behind a damn text message. You can hide behind that whole however you meet them, you can hide. Until you actually have a conversation, you're just dealing with a person's personal representative.
I have a different perspective.
I agree with him. Don't do online dating.
Please don't.
I have a different perspective, Truth Hedge. I believe, and we all have our own perspective of it. I believe that dating is a numbers game. Just like I remember when I was a young man, I was a telemarketer at one time, and I was told that the more calls you get, the more sales you can get.
So the more bodies you guys
get,
the
more
husbands you get
that you go out there and you go on these dates, sooner or later you may find someone. I don't think 100% that is not good. I think for certain people it may work. For some it don't. So I can't say it. They feel it doesn't, and for them it didn't work. But I have plenty of examples of people that got married by finding their wife or their significant others online. So I think it's a numbers game, just like anything you do. The more you put yourself out there, you're gonna meet a whole bunch of dickheads and a bunch of chicks that's not for you.
Right.
But out of the midst of all of that, all this trash that you're seeing, you may find one or two.
Can I say something?
But the thing is, don't have sex with them.
Can I say something?
Just that simple.
So I actually agree with you too. I do believe that numbers is a dating game.
Yeah,
that's one of the best. That's one of the best advice
game.
I ever got, because you know what?
Yeah.
Sometimes you just need to throw shit at a wall and see what sticks.
That's it.
But
The hard part is don't give yourself to all these dudes. Just wait until
Here's
them.
my thing though. Here's why I think dating online is problematic. Okay. Because it is a distraction. When you're online dating, you're spending hours upon hours of your day replying, swiping, doing all kinds of foolishness where you could be using that towards doing something more productive, and that's towards your growth. It's just an unnatural way of being, and I don't think it is right, and I think it leads to more trouble. That's why I don't think people need an online date. If you date, why
can't we go back to the old
I've
school
gone on
ways?
plenty of dates.
It's too late for
this
that.
year,
It's too late
and-
for that.
What was that?
Nah, he had said so. He said, "Why can't we go back to the old days?" I said, "It's too late for that.
No, I'm just saying.
Social media has taken over. It's either you advance with it, or you're gonna get left behind."
No, but at the end of the day, if you want to meet a woman, here's the thing.
Go to Publix.
A lot of guys nowadays.
It's not that easy.
Here's the thing.
Women are more difficult to approach nowadays than it was before.
That's because there's something there. You see, that's the thing. I used to be one of those women. I would be one of those women in Publix, right? And this is when I was really hurt. I'd go in Publix and I see a guy smiling at me. I'd be like, why? This is before we had masks on, right?
See?
But I had to confront the hurt that was within me, right? And I had to change myself. I had to renew myself.
But you're talking about you.
But
Everybody's not like you.
This is what people need to do. This is a nugget right here. I'm trying to give.
That's difficult.
It's not difficult.
It's difficult for
you
people to
need
get to that
renew
stage.
yourself. Now when I go into Publix and the man smiles at me, I try to smile my eyes because I'm wearing a mask, but I'm more open.
I'm more realistic now because I know people are not at my same level and not at your same level. And it may not, sometimes they can't wait till they get to that level. And I can't say it's a good thing or a bad thing. I can only say what's good for me, and what may be good for me may not be good for you. So that's how I look at it. So, and that's why I approach it from a standpoint of, online dating. Yeah, for a lot of people who don't have self-control, it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because all they're going to do is get slayed every single time they go on a date. But there's some people who have great self-control and, they have a plan in place of trying to find the right one. Those people it may work good for. But the ones that don't have self-control, their body count is going to continue to rise. That's all that's going to happen. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'll say this for the audience. Ladies, definitely a lot of ladies went to college to get educations on learning certain job skills, and a lot of ladies really don't realize how much work it takes in relationships. A lot of people in general,
it's very different.
It's a lot more work than when they get into these relationships. They don't have the necessary skills to make these relationships work. So when a obstacle come into this relationship, it's like, well, damn. I'm not dealing with this. I'm done.
Let's go a little deeper than that, because I believe where there's a will, there's a way, right? What if they really didn't want to be in a relationship? What if they only got into the relationship because that's what they thought they wanted? Because of societal
that happens a lot. That happens a lot.
That's why they're the way they are. Because when you don't really want something, you're not gonna care.
You're not gonna fight for it.
Right, you're not gonna fight for it.
You're not gonna fight for it.
But that's the way society has basically went that route now. Because nobody don't want to put in no effort for anything.
And they're afraid to be alone.
But here we go. Here's that other thing. But you done slept with this person. You done did everything else. So then you get in the next situation. So what if they don't want to be in this relationship? What if they don't want to? So now you don't got another little situation that went on, and so you keep jumping from situation to situation. So when does it become an issue that it's you? Not
right. When do you wake? Can you wake up when you hit rock bottom? Okay. When you're on that floor crying and you're just tired and you're frustrated, your hard-headed ass gonna learn.
Yeah. But a lot of ladies think that they have all the time in the world to get it together. And I'm telling you, I remember when I was in my early 20s, man, it went by so fast.
Yeah.
And time is of the essence. So we don't have as much time. If you want a good quality person in your life, be open-minded. Stop having that, have some feminine energy out there. That's attractive.
Energy.
Yeah, you gotta have ladies. You gotta have that feminine energy.
Yes.
If you want to get a man and you're a successful woman, you gotta have that feminine energy. You can't have that masculine energy out there on display. Because men don't. That's not attractive. But men love a woman that's feminine. You know what I'm saying? They love that. That's especially
use your power, ladies. Use your power and don't sleep with them.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, don't fuck them.
Please don't. Don't do it. And ladies, with the requirements, a lot of these ladies have a lot of different requirements on height. They gotta be 6'3", 6'4".
Can I tell you a story?
Go ahead, tell us.
Can I tell y'all a story? So I'm 5'9". I'm a tall woman. I'm above average height, and I'm enjoying my dating style this year because I'm opening up myself to people who are not typically what I would go for, and it has been truly a blessing because I have met some of the most incredible men who are all high value, who are just wonderful. It's been great, and they wouldn't be my typical type. Like the best date and the best connection I've had so far is with a man who's 5'6".
Wow.
Yes, 5'6".
Damn.
5'6". I'm 5'9".
Damn. 5'6".
What? What's wrong with that?
I ain't saying that, but I'm just saying, okay.
Sometimes men like trees to climb.
I know I went out with a tall woman. She was over 6 feet tall when I was in college. That was an awkward situation. You know what I mean?
Was it awkward for you or for her?
For me, it was awkward.
It was awkward for you?
She was bad. Hey, she was fine now.
Why was it awkward for you?
Yeah.
At the time, I was like,
You didn't have that much confidence, huh?
No, I ain't gonna say I ain't had no confidence, because, hell,
Why was it awkward, though?
Because I don't like tall women. Nobody taller than me.
See, so you sound like one of these...
I'm just saying,
you sound like one of these low-value women right now.
Nah, but at the end of the day, I'm just saying, for me as a man at that time in my life, I was in my early 20s.
You was young and dumb. It's okay.
I was like 19, 20 years old. And at that particular time, and she was a model, too. She was from the island.
I would think so, 6 foot tall.
Yeah, she was bad. But it was just like, it was just one of those things. But, hey, hey, I still went out with her. I took her out. We had a good time, and that was it. But that's never been my thing.
Yeah. I asked him. I said, "How do you feel about the height difference?" And he was like, "I don't care." He was like, "It's all about your heart and who you are." And I said, "I agree with you."
So what happened with that relationship?
Oh, we're still getting to know each other. So
Oh,
one of the toxic
this is
things.
2021, right?
This is the 2021 dating style. This is the new dating style, and this is
you're
why it's the
open-minded.
new. It's open minded, but here's the most important part. I'm gonna give you a little nugget. The most important part is don't be narcissistic about it, and don't try to rush it. Right? Just
take
let
your time.
things flow.
But a lot of people don't
let
know
it
how
flow.
to a lot of women and men don't know how to allow things just to flow just organically.
I get it. We all have a lot of anxiety. We live in an instant culture. I totally understand, but sometimes you just need to let things unfold the way they are, and that's what I'm talking about when I say God's timing. Don't force nothing. Just let it be.
No, you shouldn't force anything. If you got to force something, man, it's a problem. It's definitely a problem.
Exactly. Yeah, then the magic doesn't happen. And
Magic don't happen.
yes, and ladies, there could be a lot of magic if you just let go and let God, honestly. And don't sleep with them.
Please don't.
That's the number one key.
Yeah.
So you single, right?
Yes, I'm single.
Okay, cool.
Single and loving it. This is the best time of my life. Oh my God. Thank you, yeah. Thank you, God, because this has been wonderful. I'm getting to know myself. I'm getting to know God, and I'm also getting closer to my husband. I can feel it.
Okay.
When you become spiritual and you become aligned with the Most High, you can feel how things are moving in your life.
Everything, the universe is, making things happen for you.
You can,
basically.
listen, things happen like that, okay? Manifestation can happen that quickly.
Definitely. Especially when you take the time to kind of grow independently and remove yourself from different, you're dating, but you're not really trying to connect with people right now.
I know, I am connecting with people.
She meets different people, it sounds like, right?
Yeah, I'm meeting different people. And you know what's crazy? Even though I don't agree with online dating, I'm meeting these people online.
Okay. Well, dang.
I'm listening. I'm listening now. Go ahead.
Right. So I'm meeting these people because I'm focusing on myself, right? I'm focused on the things I like to do, which is movies, which is film reviews. Like I love arts and I love film and culture.
So
I went to Sundance last year and all that stuff. So
Where's
I'm
the
in those
Sundance
spaces.
at?
It's in Salt Lake City,
Salt
Utah.
Lake City.
Oh,
So
that's pretty cool.
I'm
Was there a lot of
moving-
black people there?
I found the black people, right? Because I'm moving in those spaces. And that's where I'm finding the type of men who are right for me and who
Awesome.
relate to me.
So online dating has worked for you in some kind of way,
It's
shape, or form.
not online though, but
Oh,
it is
my
online.
Y'all, see what
She meet them
I'm not
on
seeking.
social media.
I'm not seeking it. I'm not seeking it.
She meet
You
them on social
understand?
media.
I'm not seeking it. It's coming to me.
Got
Are you online?
I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. And YouTube.
Did you meet these guys on Facebook, Instagram? What did you meet them at? Is it a dating site or what is it?
No, it's not a dating site. Just when you're aligned with
Where did
yourself.
you meet this guy at?
I met him on Clubhouse.
Okay, Clubhouse is
so you be
also
on
like
Clubhouse.
it's like a dating site.
No,
too.
it is not a dating
Oh, they have
app.
dating
Oh my
rooms.
God.
That's not true. You know they got dating rooms in Clubhouse.
They do, but we did not meet in a dating room.
Where y'all meet at?
We met in a career recruiting room, which is what I do for my 9 to 5. So when you're putting yourself in spaces for who you actually are, you're not out there seeking these things.
So it's online.
It'll come to you.
You met them online.
Yeah, but I'm not in the way where I was like, oh, I gotta go in this dating room.
She basically saying
Da-da-da-da.
she's not on like Bumble or one of these
Yeah.
dating sites. She's saying
Yeah, I'm
she's
not
just saying
seeking it.
she was just doing her job and
It
she's
was totally
doing.
by accident, all by accident.
So it's different from online dating. So it's just
Yeah.
if you remove the dating part from it, then it's okay. So we
Yeah.
can. So you can meet a guy on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, and it's not
And
considered.
also, we didn't meet in the sense where it's like, oh, we're trying to do this. It was just kind of like, oh, let's just chit chat, let's just get to know each other. And then he was in my city for the Super Bowl, and we got to hang out that whole weekend. And I
So
got to
you
actually
talking about
meet
Super Bowl
him.
here, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
He
so you
came to
hung out.
town.
So you hung out with him.
Yeah, we hung out. We
Oh.
spent the whole weekend together. It was
Oh.
beautiful. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
absolutely.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
Well, congratulations.
And no sex, ladies. You don't have to have sex.
and also, ladies, I'm gonna give you another nugget. Men want a woman. We adore a woman's presence. Like we love to be appreciated, ladies. So that's a nugget that you, especially if you're a high value woman and you making good money and you having a hard time. Don't be trying to be the man's boss because you're the boss at work.
Unless he wants you to be the boss in the bedroom.
There you go, because there's a lot of men that do.
But if you could be his companion, his friend, the one that he can confide in, the one person that he can, have a certain type of conversation with you and just let his vulnerability come out, that's a plus.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and also be thankful on a regular of your man, to show him that you appreciate everything that he does. I mean, every single thing, even the small things help. Even if he takes the garbage out on the regular, let him know that you appreciate that.
Yeah.
That's a great way. Oh yeah, of course. To, show that you're appreciative of what we do as men. And I notice the same way for women too. I know y'all like to hear the same thing. To know that we appreciate every little thing that you do.
I believe in over communicating. So this is like something I do at work. So even if you just say thank you, gratitude. This is a spiritual law now, right? And Calvin, you can help me out, right? The more grateful you are for something, the more you're going to get of it in your life, right?
Abundance?
Yeah, abundance. So if you're always constantly telling your man, thank you, even if it's the little things, he brings you something to drink, thank you. He opens the door for you, thank you. Show your gratitude. He's going to give it more to you.
Gratitude goes a long way.
Yeah, that's the number one thing. I believe that's the number one thing that, for me, that keeps me going. Is the gratitude that I receive that keeps me pushing.
That keeps you making want to do
even
more.
the very small things it could be. I appreciate you doing that. I appreciate you waking up early and going out there and mow the yard. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's a great thing. For me, it was. Still is to this day. Even when my woman come out and bring me a small glass of water that I'm outside cutting the grass, that shows that's real. Powerful for me.
I did that. Like I grew up in Jersey area, so when I went to grad school, I went to grad school in Connecticut, and I told you guys that's where I had my relationship with my boyfriend.
What school
from
you
grad
went to
school
in Connecticut?
University of New Haven.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got family in New Haven.
Yeah, so you know how the weather gets over there.
Yeah.
There was a huge snowstorm. I'm talking, we got 30 plus inches of snow. I don't particularly enjoy digging my car out, and I was so glad to have a boyfriend who didn't mind doing that. So he went and he plowed that thing out. He was super anal about it. So it was like a perfect square around the car. While he was doing that, I was in the house cooking up some food for him, okay?
That's what I'm talking about.
Like pancake, like a full brunch, fresh fruit.
So it took him a long time to do that, huh?
30 inches of fresh snow?
Yeah, man, that's serious.
Yeah.
So when he came in the house, that's what he had available to him. And he was very appreciative of that. And unfortunately, our relationship couldn't last because I felt like at a certain point I was becoming a crutch for him.
Oh.
So
you felt like you was hindering him.
Yeah, I feel like I was hindering his growth. So I had
You felt like it?
Yeah.
So you broke up with him because you felt that way? Did you know for a fact?
Yeah, I did.
How?
I felt it in my spirit. I prayed about it.
So God told you to break up with him? Yes, God told him.
Okay. Corey, she could have walked away from an excellent man.
She probably did.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
Yes, but you know what? You could have been right. You might have been his crutch, but he probably needed that crutch.
Here's
at
the
that
thing,
time.
though. He was disrespectful to me.
Oh,
Oh, well, that's different.
that's different. You didn't say that.
So I was much bigger back then. I love healthy journey. So I've lost over 120 pounds.
What?
Yes, I love the gym. I love eating healthy. I love all that stuff. And I got a lot of that from him because he used to like to do 5Ks and stuff like that. But before all of that, he would be really rude towards me. He would say all kinds of inappropriate comments, and those things planted a seed within me that I never got over, unfortunately. So it just didn't work for me.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Cool.
I get it.
Man, you hear all the stuff we got going on, Truth Heads.
Truth heads.
That's the new audience, Truth Heads. But
we appreciate you guys tuning in tonight. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment.
Check out our page.
Oh yeah, The Ugly Damn Truth, and also check out what's the name of your page? Maya Rivers.
Yeah, you can find me. You can find me on YouTube. I am Maya Rivers, as well as Instagram. I am Maya Rivers. Yeah.
I got a question, real quick.
Uh-huh.
If you out on a date, I know this is off topic, but it really isn't.
Okay.
If you out on a date, and you at the table with your man, because I know a lot of women always complain about this, and the first thing you see him do is turn his phone over.
Yeah.
What does that mean to you?
That means that he's giving me his undivided attention. And then I like to make a little cute game out of it. So I'll be like, okay, I'll make a drinking game out of it.
Truth heads, you hear that, ladies and
I
gents?
told you, she good now. She good.
Yeah.
This is what we can do, ladies, to encourage his behavior positively. Okay, yeah, so every time you pick up your phone, you have to take a drink or you got to do this. Just make it something fun. Make it something flirty so that they feel better about not having to use their phone.
But I'm going to tell you something. Some men would think that you hiding something.
A man would think if I did that I was hiding
If you
something?
try to play that game. No, I'm not saying you. I'm just saying you will have some men that overthink that whole thing that you said. The game.
Well,
and,
some women would
she
overthink
trying to hide something.
Then
That's
I don't want him. Please, I don't want him. Thank you. Okay,
He's
it's either two things. It's God's protection or it's God's will. I don't got time to figure out which one it is. Okay. I don't want you if that's what you're gonna think. Thank you for revealing that to me. Thank you for making the process easier for me to exit you.
Wow. So you would exit a man based on that?
If he thought that I was trying to hide something from him, that is a red flag because it'll lead to him feeling and thinking and saying all kinds of other stuff.
Oh yeah.
It's very telling.
Oh yeah, it is. It is.
It's
I'm just
very
playing devil's advocate. I agree with you.
Yeah.
That's the same thing I would do.
And I've gone out with men who are very successful, who are considered quote unquote high value, who have businesses that they have to take care of. But hey, all I'm asking you, I understand you're busy. I love that about you. I love your ambition. But this is just 1 hour of your time. Let's just enjoy this.
Don't pick up your
dinner.
phone.
Yeah, and they will understand. Like, make it sweet. You attract more bees with honey than
That's
you do
right.
with
That is
vinegar.
true. Yes.
That is how I do it. But I ain't gonna lie to you about something now. I ain't doing it.
Gotcha.
Sorry.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and make a comment.
That's right. The ugly damn
Again,
truth.
share the video, like, subscribe, and comment. Truth heads. Let's make it
We
happen.
definitely appreciate y'all joining us tonight.
And
It's
we
been a
try-
great show.
Yes.
We love having the lovely Maya Rivers here
We
tonight.
definitely did.
Next week we're gonna have a great show again. We're gonna keep this thing going. We're gonna keep continually bringing fresh guests here, different perspectives, different topics. And please be sure, we want you guys to comment down below. Let us. You can email us as well as far as content that you want us to talk about.
Yeah,
or
give
whatever.
us some ideas.
Give us some ideas. We're open to it. We're trying to expand this channel and get our viewership up and touch people.
Can I say something?
Go ahead, sure.
Can y'all please tell us how to date? Because we
Oh.
don't. A lot of people don't know how to date.
All right, that'll be a show.
No, yeah, we can.
We'll touch on that.
Can y'all make it plain, please?
Yes, we're gonna go ahead and do that show.
Yes.
Hey, we got a goal of 10,000 subscribers. We need your help. Help us out. We need 10,000 subscribers by June. That's our goal. That's our
That's the
target.
goal.
We got a long ways to go, and y'all see the damn numbers down there. So, God damn it, if you don't do anything about it, please like, subscribe, comment, and share the video.
That's right. We'll see you guys next week. We got to start going 2 times a week.
We're
Because
about to.
we really need to, because there's a lot of need out there. A lot of people asking us to do certain videos, so we're gonna start putting them out. We definitely let you guys
We need
know.
y'all help, though.
Oh, absolutely, we need your help.
We need
All right?
your help, guys. Hey, listen. Truth heads, we need your help. Look at me. We need you to get us to 10,000 subscribers. All right, guys. Thank you again tonight.
Peace. A lot for
It
you.
was a
We'll
pleasure.
see you guys.
Thank you.
Peace.
I'll read that.